All right. Welcome everybody to this Channel Vision Magazine webinar with Cloud Concepts. In this presentation today, we're going to look at how to better empower tech advisors to do what they do best. In particular, we're going to look at different ways to help agents maybe save time and money, learn about some free resources and time-saving tools, and examine a few strategies along the way to improve efficiency as well. I'm your moderator, Brady Hicks, the managing editor for Channel Vision Magazine. And joining us right now, the founder and the CEO of Cloud Concepts, your host, Shawn Jones. How are things going, Shawn?
Give me just a second. I'm trying to share my screen here or my video. I apologize. So,
Well,
being in the tech world, you'd think we would get this stuff right.
well, while you're doing that, let me just talk real quick because I wanted to invite you all to come meet Shawn and the others from the Cloud Concepts team at the CVX Expo 24 this November in Scottsdale, Arizona. And that's at no cost, especially for qualified partners. Cloud Concepts is going to be at booth 1005, and Shawn in particular is going to lead a very special session there Wednesday, November 13th, entitled Empowering Tech Advisors, Recognizing Your Rut and Rise Above It. So we're going to get excited for the event, Shawn. And I'm already excited for the presentation. And if people stick around, they can learn a little bit more about this breakout session as well. So let me ask you again, how you doing, Shawn?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited about this particular lead up to the CVX Expo. And one of the things I will say is that for everybody attending, it's a wonderful audience. Thank you for taking time out of your day for us. I do not intend to kill you by PowerPoint, but there are some things in here that I think some of you may already know. Some of you may want to take a little deeper dive into some of these things. But I think the lead up to the CVX Expo, if folks want to come shake our hand and see us in person, we'd love nothing more than to do that. In the breakout session, I'm excited about too, because it's more of a, helping people recognize their rut. We get into these grooves and just kind of daily routines, and how do we recognize that we're in a rut, and what's it take to get out? So it's going to be exciting. So hopefully the things we share today and at the show will be equally as good. So thank you so much.
Of course, yeah. No, and I came up for some people before we dive into the presentation here. Before I turn everything over, I want to let everyone know that Cloud Concepts, they're offering very generously $25 Amazon gift cards to 4 lucky attendees that stay through the entire presentation. There's going to be a QR code at the end, so you're going to want to look for that. And again, we'll give you guys the opportunity to scan and register to win these great Amazon gift cards. We're going to give 4 of them away. So you are going to want to stick around until the end. I also want to remind you that Cloud Concepts created this webinar to provide you with information. So if any questions come up along the way, just go to the Q&A icon there at the bottom of the page. We'll present those questions once the presentation is finished. And we also have, I should note, Kyle Jones, the Vice President of Sales and Marketing. He's on standby there, monitoring the Q&A to make sure that everything that comes in does get answered in some form along the way. All right, Shawn, you ready to jump in?
Yeah, and just to dovetail off that real quick, Brady,
Sure.
one of the things that I'd say is, since we're not going to kill you with PowerPoint by PowerPoint, there should be some time to answer some questions that, maybe raise your hand kind of thing, and we can answer whatever questions at the end live. That would be great too, even though I know Kyle is fielding some of the questions at the end, but we'll just jump right into this.
So the question right there before us, what are some of the trends that you're seeing in the advisor community and with other TSDs?
Well, I think that one of the biggest things that we're seeing today, right now, happening right before our eyes, is that these, if we're doing the politically correct or not, mega masters or the mega TSDs, they're getting larger every single day. And for us in our industry and in this particular, indirect sales channel is good. That's a good indicator. If they're getting larger, that means that the agents are making money, that we're all sharing in what is now going to be this market share that's growing each and every day, because customers are buying through the indirect channel. We know that, and we're seeing it by the results of these master agencies getting larger and larger every single day. We're also seeing a ton of M&A. mergers and acquisitions. We've seen some of the most recent acquisitions like AppSmart buying TBI, Talaris buying TCG. And if you're kind of in that groove and know some of the other names, we're seeing companies like Upstack they're buying small and large organizations. Bridgepoint, they're all in this mode of, merging. They're helping indirect, advisors manage their business and do better. And so there's a lot of M&A going on as well. We're actually even seeing some of the TSDs going public. That's an interesting kind of turn of events, but you've got, these are some of the older statistics, but like Tech Data, Cenex, is a public, Intelisys going public. There's a few of them that are doing that as well. But one of the things that's happening that we're seeing, and this is not uncommon to, let's say, the agency world, but this is also in the provider world, this what I call the 80-20 rule. We're seeing 80% of these TSD revenues are coming from 20% of their top producing performers, okay? The performing advisors that are doing the majority of the work. So we're seeing that trend. Throughout each and every day, that it's the 20% that are doing 80% of the business for these folks. What we're seeing though, as a result of that, is in the trenches. These master agencies, TSDs, have in the past been able to get into the trenches with the advisors, roll up their sleeves, and help them. What we're finding now is that the resources to help the advisors is diminishing as the TSDs get larger. Now, they would argue differently. They've got, a variety of classes and engineers that they bring to the table, which are great resources, but really getting into the trenches and having that conversation with the end user, we're seeing diminish. And that's just the information that we're gathering from the groups that we're encountering. Support. So support from those organizations, the balance, 80% of those advisors are lacking the support and help that they want or need. Okay, so you've got your top performers, they know what they're doing, and then in that 80%, there are people there that are just needing extra hand holding, and they're complaining that they're just not getting that particular support that they would like.
All right, fascinating stuff. So Shawn, let me ask you then, in what ways are the advisors looking for help?
So they're coming to us with a lot of different questions, a variety of them. And the biggest one that we're seeing right now is commissions. They're asking about commission tracking. For example, when you look at an M&A, let's just use the Talaris and TBI. I'm not picking on these folks because we do business with them every single day and they're great people, okay? But what we ended up with is when they're merging, they want the agent, the advisor community to not be impacted, right? Because that's the lifeblood of what they're doing. But we're all human, things happen. And what's ended up happening on the commission side is an identifier for a customer in, let's say, the Talaris back office and the identifier for the TCG back office are two different identifiers. And when they merge the database, somehow the commissions fall off the agent's tracking. They can't see it. And sometimes forever, sometimes it's 3 or 4 months down the road before they actually get to see that. If they're notified, which in a lot of cases they're not being notified. So it's incumbent upon the advisor to find that mistake, bring it to their attention, and fix that mistake. So we're getting a lot of commission tracking questions. How can we figure this out? How can we be of assistance for that? We're seeing that in the MSP world. A lot of the MSPs love this revenue. They really want to get the passive income, but it's not their core competency. They're not focusing on, they're looking at supporting networks and infrastructure and other things, and they lose sight of their commissions. They're not paying attention to it like they would like to. And so they need assistance and help in figuring out where their commissions are. We've seen in some of our conversations, advisors that are just unclear of what their pass-through is from a TSD. They don't really understand how it works, or the fact that there's a provider that pays a percentage and then they get a percentage from these TSDs. So having a clear understanding of their percentages and what the business model looks like, they're asking for help and support there as well. This one's an interesting one, and we're seeing this in a situation where an advisor has been told, hey, go to provider A. Let's pick on a big guy. Let's say 8x8, right? And they go to 8x8 and they say, get the quote, register the deal, whatever the case may be, but they have forgotten to tell the TSD, hey, or the provider to mark this or bookmark this under the specific TSD that they would like to use. For example, bookmark this for me under Sandler, and that they can now say this commission is going to go to Sandler and then go to the advisor from there. So with agents and advisors reaching directly out to a vendor causes a lot of confusion, and they're spending a lot of time really doing what's the next one is reconciling their commissions. How do they're spending too much time chasing down a specific commission that has come in. So they're asking for help. Like, look, I'm not as proficient in this as I would like to be. Can you help us, reconcile this, find this commission? Where did it drop off? Where did it ever get to a spot where it was commissionable to us? Like it wasn't bookmark or earmark for us. Agents are getting multiple sources for their commissions. So they're getting commissions from multiple TSDs. Some of them might even have a few direct agreements with providers, and they're coming in on spreadsheets. They're coming in portals where they have to download the information and then reconcile it, and then being able to put that all into a single location to reconcile their commissions. It becomes a monumental task each and every month. And what they're doing is they're spending way more time reconciling commissions than they are making sales. They want to be out selling. The other area where we're seeing this in commissions is sub-agent payouts. I've got a friend, I've got somebody that brought me a lead. I want to pay them, which we all do. Like, thank you very much for the lead. Thank you for the opportunity. We've closed this. And what many advisors are doing now is they're relying on the TSD to do the split on the back end for them. Give Joe, my buddy, X percent of this deal each and every month. Well, what ends up oftentimes happening with that is that the advisor loses control and visibility of that account in some cases, not all cases, but in some cases. And so it makes it difficult for the advisor to keep control over the actual commission and the payout, because they're just not, in most cases, not set up to pay out the referral themselves. Another area that we're seeing agents having concerns is that they want product or service differentiators. They're looking for unique and niche services that they can have as a different conversation door opener. Look, if we're all talking about the same thing, we're talking about hosted PBX, internet, some of the commodity items that we sell each and every day. Well, everybody's having that conversation. What makes me different? If you think about Shark Tank, Mark Cuban's on the other side saying, Shawn, what makes your organization different than anybody else's, right? We have to answer that question if we want to grow our business. And having unique and niche products and services changes that conversation with an end user. Agents are looking for complementary services. They want things that are stackable, where I can say, the days of, well, I'm going to sell an internet or multiple internet pipes, an SD-WAN, and a hosted PBX. Those are stackable, but they're looking for different ways now. They want other products that are complementary, whether, going back to old school, hey, I want to pick up the revenue from a toll-free number, or, I want some other access, an on and off ramp, let's say, to cloud services for my customer. Just picking up, basic, Office products, Microsoft Office products that they want to sell. Another way we're seeing agents asking for differentiators is in branding. Look, I put my name out in front of that customer. Why can't I put my name on the product that I'm representing? I want the ability to brand something as my own. I want my own hosted PBX with my company name and logo on it. And that's becoming a request more and more, are brandable or co-brandable products, not just a brochure, but the actual product itself, the service that is there. Agents are asking more and more for support. They want help with the milestones on the back end. A lot of advisors are really good at sales process, but their follow-up, they're off to the next sale, and they lose sight of when a circuit's going to be installed and when it needs to be turned up and active. So the follow-up on the day-to-day tasks they need assistance with. Sales support. Some agents are really good at support. They go in and they put in the network and the infrastructure, but they're really not that great with closing a deal. Some of the advisors that we're running into want additional sales support. They want someone to go in on the deal with them and actually help them close that deal. Resources. We're seeing a lot of the agents in this realm, is the saying that we use is, you don't know what you don't know. Advisors want help gathering all the resources to bring it to the table, but not only to close the deal, but to be able to see that all the way through the end and actually recognize the commission that comes along with that. I want that commission to end up in my bank account. I mean, look, we're all in business. The revenue is the most important thing. It's what keeps the lights on. And agents need assistance with that whole entire process. Now, again, not all agents. We'll get to that part later. A lot of advisors are smaller agencies that are looking, that it baffles me, but I see it every single day, that these advisors are working from just an email account and a spreadsheet. And we get questions on, what CRM is best for my business? Can I get away with the free version of Zoho, or do I need to go full blown HubSpot, or, whatever the case may be? There's a lot of questions that we see in that regard. What commissions modules are being used out there? Some of the TSDs have their own that they built from scratch that are really, really good. And some are using some industry standard type back office like RPM. So there's a lot of questions. Should I be using that? Is that something I need to use? Or do I really want to spend money investing in that as part of my business today, maybe down the road? Simple things like bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is interesting because we all have to do it. Uncle Sam wants us to make sure that we're tracking our revenues and our expenses, and we're reporting those accordingly. So, am I using QuickBooks? Do I need an outsourced bookkeeping company? What do I do there? So we get a lot of questions regarding that. Taxes, the same thing. Bookkeeping and taxes tend to go hand in hand. If I'm capable of paying out those split deals, am I sending out 1099s at the end of the year? What do I do there? So we get a lot of questions there. And we have other customer or agencies that are looking for help with overall corporate structure. I went out of the gate today, and I'm just did an LLC just to get by. I just wanted to get started. But, I'm really looking at taking on investors and investing in my organization. Should I be looking at a C corporation, or what else is out there? What other corporate structure should I be looking at to, bring that? So there's a variety of different things outside of just selling the normal products and services that are out there for us to consume.
All right, very thorough stuff, Shawn, I gotta say. So you've identified some of the trends and the common pain points, obviously. But how can advisors benefit?
So advisors can benefit from cloud concepts in a way that we've got a variety of different things. But let's first be clear on one thing. Only the advisors that know that they need help will really benefit from our organization. And that's kind of partially true. There's some other things that we will touch on in a few minutes, but those that need the help know they need the help. Those pain points that I brought up, if it's a common occurrence, like just tracking commissions, like I'm sick and tired of tracking commissions. I definitely know I need to do it because that's what keeps the lights on, but I spend an inordinate amount of time doing it, right? That's where we can be helpful. The things that we had brought up on some of those previous slides. Most of the agencies out there probably won't need our help. They're self-sufficient, especially those that are in that 20%. Remember, we said the 80-20 category. 80% of the revenue is driven by 20% of those top performing agencies. They don't need help. They've got it all dialed in. They've got all the tools. They've got all the support. Matter of fact, those are the ones that are likely buying other agencies, right? So they've got all their bases covered, don't need our help. It's the ones that are actually out there looking for help. However, we do have a handful of ways that we've been successful in helping agencies, even that are self-sufficient, succeed. So much so that we've been able to increase revenue and sales growth as much as 30 to 50% month over month with those agents that we're helping. And this can be done in the majority of cases. Well, not, I would say in most cases, where an agent isn't going to lose any commissions whatsoever. That's why work with someone like Cloud Concepts if I'm going to give up a percentage. Well, sometimes in most cases you won't have to, and we've made it to where they can actually continue to work with their favorite TSDs, the mega masters, the Talarises, the AppSmarts, the Sandlers of the world. Anyone that we have a relationship with, they will be able to continue to work with those TSDs. So other advisors, and some will benefit from that handful of unique products and niche products that we have in our portfolio. We have literally about a handful of things that are key differentiators, things that are going to be door openers, things that you will be able to talk about that are not being covered by the mega masters. Okay, they don't have them in their portfolio. Things that are in the medical industry, things that are in SD-WAN and infrastructure. So we've got a variety of products there that we can actually talk to you about that will give you a differentiator and allow you to have a different conversation than you are having today. And yes, of course, we have all the usual suspects, whether it's in a category of aggregators or, providers that provide bandwidth. All the usual suspects, we have those in our portfolio. We have over 50 different hosted PBX providers that are there. Some of which actually, if you're looking for a brandable product, we could talk to you about how you can brand your own hosted PBX. So there's those benefits that are coming. Offloading. And when we talk about this, we have been very successful for those agents that we are able to help offload a lot of the processes that are bogging down that advisor with the mundane tasks that are related to commissions, that are, the commissions tracking, follow-up payouts, and more. Milestone follow-up and tracking, sales support. I mean, there's a variety of other ways that we help when you offload those tasks to us, that you can concentrate now on your core competencies of what you do best. If you're a great salesperson, you're an MSP, and you just want to go out and sell those services, flip over the opportunity to us and we'll uncover it, close it, and put the commission in your virtual mailbox, right? Business processes. We've helped agents and advisors look at recommendations for tools that will streamline their business, whether they want to utilize our tools or they want to implement their own. A lot of times, it's better to put it under your own, but sometimes the expense of doing that is not something that's budgeted for. And really, lastly, mentorship. If we're partnered with the right company that's looking for us to assist them in some way, whether it's small or big or anywhere in between, having someone that's gone down this road ahead of you or alongside of you that has already the bumps and bruises of just the daily tasks, or someone that needs to bounce business ideas off of one another, just to have a resource help guide you, but also to look at what is your exit strategy in this whole agency slash advisor business. Do you have an exit strategy? Let's put together, do you want to get acquired by another company, or are you looking to pass this down to your grandkids? Okay. There's a way to you look at this exit strategy, and sometimes we're able to at least shine a light on what that might be. So that's kind of what this is lead up is to, where this really, I hope that wasn't too awful long, 27 minutes. But we're excited. Now's the time to take out your cell phones, grab this QR code, please register. We're looking forward to sending out those gift cards. And Brady, what do you think? We open it up for some Q&A for a few minutes?
Oh, sure. Absolutely, Shawn. And there have been some interesting things coming in. Before we get to that, though, if people maybe want to reach out for more information, I don't know if you want to talk about where they can go online, or maybe Kyle wants to do it in the Q&A, either way. But where can people go?
So it's very simply put, Kyle will put in the chat our URL for our website, along with both of our phone numbers and emails, and he'll put it in the chat so everybody can have it. It's just cloud-concepts.com. And, if this is a fit for you in any way, even if it's just to bounce ideas, I've been doing this for 30 plus years. And quite frankly, I'm anxious to try to give back to our community. I want to help others succeed. When we all succeed, it's a great thing to encounter, especially when we see that this space is growing every single day. There's enough room for all of us to work together, rise everybody else up, and actually help each other make money.
Well, it definitely is a good thing. And while people are scanning the Q&A, or scanning the QR code there, sorry about that. Let me remind everybody once again that you can contribute to this conversation by clicking on the Q&A tab at the bottom of your screen. Shawn, let's get to some of the questions. You mentioned so much going on in the industry. In particular, early on, you kind of talked about the M&A activity, mergers and acquisitions. In your opinion, what's the fallout been from that? And how has that kind of helped Cloud Concepts partners, if it has at all?
Well, interestingly enough, I like how you use the term fallout from this. Fallout, it generally means opportunities for someone else. Okay. So when a customer or a client is not feeling the love, or an agent isn't feeling the love from the process of that merger and acquisition, sometimes there are the forgotten ones that get mixed up in that. I will say that all of these folks want to make sure and ensure that their customers and their agents have the best experience possible, but we're not perfect. Okay. So what does that do? That creates opportunity for advisors to find other resources and or pick up new business. If we're looking at what the fallout is, if a customer is not happy, that means there's an opportunity to make that customer happy and sell them other services or replace those services they're in. But the merger and acquisition is a natural process of what we're doing. It's good for those that are involved in it, and it's good for those that are looking for the opportunity for the fallout that happens thereafter.
All right. Any kind of quick tips on how to stand out when you're having a conversation with a prospect?
Yeah, so that falls in line with the unique and niche products, right? If we get in a rut, that's what our presentation is going to be about at the CVX Expo, is recognizing that rut. If we get in the same rut with everybody else, everyone is selling hosted PBX or the internet or the commodity items that we're looking at. If you're not looking for something unique, something that's different to open that conversation, it is extremely difficult because everyone else is selling the same things. And that's why brandable products are becoming very interesting to folks, because they're saying, hey, I'm standing behind this. The company that you know and trust, the one that's been your trusted advisor, I'm the one that's going to be standing behind this new product that we're offering to you, and it has our logo and our brand on it. So I think that that's really critical in today's environment, is to get out of that rut of following what everybody else is doing and find something that sets you aside, whether it's a unique product, a differentiated, a different conversation, or a brandable product that you can put your name and logo on.
All right, and you kind of touched on it, and again, you're going to talk about it a lot at CVX, I'm sure. But how important is it to have that unique product when opening a conversation? And it sounds like it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's important to get the audience with the end user. They're hearing a lot of fodder out there. There's so much stuff. They're getting so confused. And what makes it worse is when an end user does a Google search and they all of a sudden become a professional in what we're doing. We have a lot of experience to bring to the table as a community. When I talk about us, I mean all of the agents and advisors that are out there. That's why they're considered trusted advisors, right? They have experience. They're bringing a lot of resources to the table. And so it really is important, so much so that to clear the air for the end user or the buyer, so that they aren't confused.
Do you recommend getting help for business processes like tracking orders, milestones, follow-ups, that kind of stuff?
Okay, again, for just the agencies that need that help, a lot of them have that, but yes, where you can rely on an outsourced process, that isn't going to be an employee that you employ, that is someone that you set a level of expectation with and can say, look, I want you to handle all of my commission processes. There's a way to do that internally. There's a way to do it through cloud concepts, and there's a way to do it outsourced. And the right choice is based on the business model, right? And that those companies need to look at what they're set up for today, what their expense will allow for, what they're able to be able to pay for, and say, how much of this do I want a helping hand with, and invite someone else into my business to help me, or just outsource it completely. So yes, I do think that those that need help, because what it does, and we found from just pure time consumption, if you're spending a ton of time on a spreadsheet tracking your commissions, or forgetting about commissions, losing sight of commissions, and then trying to pay those sub agents out, it sucks up a lot of time. It will free you up to concentrate on your core competency, which is selling or doing what you do best.
All right, and you kind of mentioned commissions there. Any advice on other ways to track commissions more quickly?
Well, yes, a CRM of any kind can help you do that. whether they're using a free version of, let's say, Zoho to a paid version of HubSpot or Salesforce or whatever the case may be. But there are there's companies out there that you can very inexpensively utilize to gather all those commission sheets, compile them, and put them in a format that is consumable by you and by your subagents each month. So it just really depends on whether you want to use a company to do that or a service like, HubSpot or Zoho or something like that.
Okay, and this person wants to know about sales specifically, and they want to know kind of any kind of quick tip advice on how to help the front end with sales.
If you were to use our organization, we actually will put on your hat and actually get in the ring with you and actually help you represent the product, help you close that deal. And again, oftentimes you won't lose percentages on the actual sales process. We pick that up by virtue of our relationships with these other larger organizations. But I think that if you're a good salesperson, rely again on engineering. Bring the engineering support to the table. We will also help you gather the appropriate engineers that are specific to either the product type or whatever it might be. But utilize those engineers. They're there to help you. They want to help. And then getting someone that's really sales oriented that can actually help you close the deal. If you're good at closing, great. If you're not good at closing, we could assist in that process too. But I say really rely and lean on the vendors that are out there. They have great resources for their engineering, and a lot of times will offer no cost sales support. But it just depends on, what you're selling and how you're doing it. But we can talk more about that if someone wants to dive into that.
Oh, sure. And let me remind everybody, as we just have a couple questions left here, this is a great opportunity to kind of pick Shawn Jones's brain here, Cloud Concepts. If you have a question for him, be sure to use the Q&A icon there on the bottom of the screen. Shawn, could you talk a little bit more about the sales and back office support that people can receive from Cloud Concepts?
Yeah, so I'll actually give you an example, a prime example. We have agencies that are 1-person, 2-person, 3-person offices, but we also have MSPs that work with us that are our company pales in the size of their organization. Literally, they're multiple times bigger than we are. And what we've been able to do is earn the trust along the way. We started out with just helping them get a quote and then helping them do these other things. But we've gotten to a point with some of our MSPs where they actually just drop a lead in our basket and say, call Bob at XYZ company, and leave it at that. We will start from start to finish. We will actually engage with the customer, get them the quote, bring the engineering support, find the solution, close that deal, and put a commission in your inbox without you having doing absolutely nothing. We've closed just basic internet orders to 500 seat, PBX deals, to call center deals, SD-WAN deals, all of the above without any engagement from that agency. So we could do as little or as much of that work as you need us to. Now, on the back end, we audit our commissions each and every month. So for those instances where there's a merger and acquisition, and we're merging 2 companies, and the customer number doesn't match, we find it. We know when it drops off because we actually see it in our system. It's audited, and then we open up a case with that particular provider or TSD to find out what happened to it. And we've been able to true up commissions by multiple thousands of dollars that come in each and every month, that things that just were either missed or forgotten about or were due to commission, but they just didn't hit the books, right? So we know that within a certain time frame, this account is supposed to commission. If it hasn't, we're inquiring why it hasn't, whether it was installed, it was delayed, whatever the case may be. So I hope I've answered that. But again, I can go into great detail with an individual that wants that information. We could do a one-on-one. Just chat Kyle, and he'll get you the details of when we could schedule a call.
All right, and that was very thorough, Shawn. Thank you for that. Just a couple more here. You were talking earlier about kind of mentorship. This person wants to know about maybe any mentorship opportunities that are available.
Absolutely. I'm going to send you right now to clouduniversity.tech, clouduniversity.tech. That is our learning management system. That is the first place I would recommend for resources that you might want. We have an extensive library of, informational videos, things that you can brand, email campaigns, everything that you want to run your business from a sales front end. But on a mentorship, what we will do is work with you hand in hand to get the resources that you need to not only build a great agency, but also to have the ability to close deals to create revenue for you. Those agencies that we've helped in the slides, we've had the ability upwards of 30 to 50% new revenue month over month with those agents that have allowed us to mentor them. Now that's not every case, but we're pretty good at what we do. So we have a variety of different resources and hand-holding. So if you want information on corporate structure, what to do for CRM, what to do for commissioning, what to do for taxes, bookkeeping, whatever it might be to run your entire agency, we can help you with as little as or as much of that as you want.
All right, and everybody loves a good handhold, as we all know. One last question for Maya and Shawn. Any thoughts on maybe those looking to start a new business or maybe even change their business model altogether?
Yeah, so that's a perfect segue to clouduniversity.tech. Clouduniversity.tech is specifically that. It will walk you through every single step that you need to build a business. Everything from choosing your fonts. If you look at we're very specific on, even in our slideshow, that everything matches. If you go to cloudconcepts.com or cloud-concepts.com, you'll see that our colors match, our backgrounds match, our fonts match. Those are important things. We will help you mentor with that, to picking a corporate structure. If you want an LLC or an S Corp or even a C Corp, whatever that might be, it is important for you to understand really where do you want to take the business and what's your exit strategy. We help you even talk through exit strategies. Where do you want to be in a certain period of time? Do you want to sell your company? Do you want to look for investors? Do you want to retire and pass this down to your heirs, that sort of thing. So there's a very step-by-step process at clouduniversity.tech to help you grow a business, but I will personally help you with that process.
What, if any, what are the qualifications for the university, Shawn?
Really, if there's something there that is of interest to you, and whether it's a free lookbook, it could be one of the courses, anything. There's no qualifications necessary. It's just the desire to want to start a business. If you haven't already done that, or if you've already started your business but you want to change direction, right? And you want to look at saying, I just jumped out the gate with an LLC. I started it with LegalZoom. But quite frankly, I need a corporate attorney to help me, I don't know, move out of state. Someone wants to be able to do that. We can get you and help you gather those resources that you need. Hey, I want to set myself up to sell my corporation. We're not brokerages. We don't broker companies. We've helped assist agencies with that in the past, but there are companies out there that we can help you with and align you with in that process of selling your organization, or if you're just starting out. So really no qualifications necessary on the university. So there's no prerequisites there.
All right, that's great. And once again, the websites, for those who maybe missed them, it's cloud-concepts.com. And for the university, it's clouduniversity.tech. And we'll be sure to include those on the visual for the webinar when it goes into archive as well. So now you guys kind of have a pretty good idea of what Cloud Concepts does. But you have to come to CVX Expo to learn more. At CVX Expo, it returns November 12th through 14th. Third year running at the Talking Stick Resort in Scottsdale, Arizona. Attendees and exhibitors include TSDs, MSPs and resellers, trusted advisors and consultants, wholesale communications, cloud solution, business IT and security providers. An all-inclusive ticket grants channel partners access to everything the event has to offer. For more information, cvxexpo.com, and that's how you register as well, cvxexpo.com. In addition to being at booth 1005, Shawn and the Cloud Concepts team, Shawn's going to be hosting an educational session called Empowering Tech Advisors, Recognize your rut, and rise above it. And that's going to be Wednesday, November 13th, 9:50 a.m. at the meeting room, Redbird, K&L. And you can find all this information, of course, on cvxexpo.com. This breakout session is designed to kind of equip technology advisors, give them tools and motivation needed to thrive in today's fast-paced industry. Anything else they can expect, Shawn?
Well, I want to actually give an endorsement of the CVX Expo. I attended as an attendee last year. And if you are, anyone that looking to attend, if you've been to some of the other trade shows in the past, this show is geared for you to be able to attend every session without any cost whatsoever. We, as the sponsors, are sponsoring that ability for you to attend. And I think it's really going to be an up-and-coming show that more and more people will attend, because it has that ability to embrace these educational sessions, to be able to get access to the mind share that you folks have put together, whether it's the keynote speaking to the breakout sessions. All of that's free for someone that wants to attend. I highly recommend the CVX Expo, not because we're sponsoring it, but because I attended last year and it was a benefit to me. That made me want to become a sponsor this year. So we're looking forward to it. And I hope that we'll dive deeper into recognizing your rut at that show, because I think that's an important thing for people to really feel where they've gotten in that groove and following everybody else's footsteps. And why I'm not selling stuff is because I'm just jumping into that same groove with everybody else.
In the groove. There you go. And for the people in Scottsdale, Arizona at the Talking Stick Resort, November 12th through 14th. Tickets and information, once again, cvxexpo.com. Shawn, while you were talking endorsements in the chat, somebody did mention that they've worked directly with Cloud Concepts as a BPO in the past, and that you guys are truly remarkable to work with. So take that for whatever you want.
I would love to know who that is. I'd like to say thank you. But to them, thank you very much for that endorsement. We do appreciate it. And we strive every day to have a customer experience beyond anything else out there. And customer experience is your customer's customer, and our advisors, or the agencies that we work with, are our customer. So our customer experience is really at the forefront of our thoughts each and every day.
Well, we really appreciate you, Shawn, and everything that you've done to help us with CVX Expo. It sounds like it's going to be a great informative time at your session. Shawn Jones, first of all, I want to thank you so much for the time today. It's been really great.
It's our pleasure. Thank you very much. And we'll be sending those Amazon gift cards. Please take a screenshot right now, because Kyle's going to do a random generator for those that have registered, and we'll be sending those out in very short order. So as soon as we have that compiled, we'll send those out.
And I have a question too for you, Brady. Somebody was asking about a copy of the recording. Are you able to provide that to me so I can provide that to everybody via email?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So what we'll do, guys, is after this goes off the air, we will do an archived version. It will be available on the channelvisionmag.com website. as well as on the Channel Vision Magazine YouTube page and socialized, and you guys will have a copy as well to share with everybody that attended here today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We appreciate your
course,
time, and we appreciate everyone's attendance.
Of course, yeah. And so I'll leave that screen up there for 1 second then, just so that if there's any last minute people that want to register for the raffle. But I do want to mention real quick, just a reminder, in case you missed any of this webinar, and I know a few people came on late, that you can find it as well as other past Channel Vision presentations on demand. Just go to our website, once again, channelvisionmag.com, and they'll all be available right there on the website on demand. And from all of us at Channel Vision Magazine, from our good friends at Cloud Concepts, everybody take care, be good to one another, and we'll see you at CVX Expo 24.